that I remember. And I am going to get started because we want to keep this thing to 20 minutes. We want these classes to be 20 minutes long. And I feel like I should have worn like my blue light glasses because we're talking about back to school. And I feel like it seems like more like teacherish or something. But anyway, so we want to honor your time. And if you know me at all, you know I have a bazillion words to say. And so actually honing this to 20 minutes took me a lot of time to sort of try to figure out what I actually wanted to say to you guys. So I'm going to give this a good college try, and it may take me 1 or 2 tries of 20 minutes to really get this down, but here we are. I am excited that you're here. If you're on like the Facebook Live, feel free to comment and ask questions. And if I don't get to them while I'm talking, because I probably shouldn't try to do that much multitasking, we'll certainly answer them afterwards. And if you catch the replay, we'd love to know about that too. So anyway, we are here to talk about winning the back to school season. And this is something that is sort of near and dear to my heart because it was essentially sort of the way I even got started with Young Living, was that we weren't back to school. I was like into daycare. So I had 2 boys, and Jack and Luke, and they were 1 and 2. And they started in daycare, and by September, we had every like cough, cold, ear infection. Like we were already on a roll. I was pregnant with Brielle at the time, and it was a very, very difficult season. So school, daycare, it's all kind of the same as far as like one giant petri dish of germs. And so I'm sure you kind of know what that looks like or feels like if you have kids in school. And so anyway, we fumbled our way through that season, that whole winter. We were probably sick. I want to say in 9 months, maybe we had a month to 6 weeks of like not being sick. Dana was super kind to bring me things and thieves, and I was kind of sort of trying them, but I wasn't totally buying into it at the time. But finally, I was desperate. Andrew was desperate. He's like, Leah, we can't live like this. It's not okay. And please just do something, anything. So he was on board. I told Dana to bring me a starter kit, and I started using oils, and I wanted to prove that they didn't work, or I guess that they did or didn't, but I didn't expect them to, is maybe a better way to say it. I was working as an emerge nurse, or I guess I was just on mat leave, but I had from my job as an emerge nurse, and we just aren't really supernatural. So anyway, they blew my mind. And honestly, I can say, so that was when Brielle was born. I got my starter kit when she was 2 months old. And she's 5 now. And so for 5 years, we have had very limited sick days with school, daycare, all the things. Like Jack has been known to be like, I don't even know what a kid needs to do to get a sick day in this house. And so that makes my heart happy. It doesn't mean we never get sick, but when we do, we have tools. So I'm just going to talk about some of those tools because Young Living has like over 700 products. And so we're just going to talk about a few that we use here in our house. And I don't know about you, but it's never felt as like not okay to even have like a cold or a sniffle. And that's just life. But now, right now, in this current climate of COVID and all the things, it just feels like the second you're almost sick, you just start to panic because what am I going to do? I literally can't get sick. But what I do love about Young Living is that instead of just hoping for the best, I actually have things I can do to sort of at least do my best to fight back against it. So we use Young Living because they have a seed to seal standard. And that standard is what allows me to know that I'm putting sort of the best things on our bodies. And if you've used oils that aren't Young Living, you may not have found the benefits to be the same because the standards aren't the same. They're not processed the same. They're not distilled the same. If it doesn't have a big long word that you can hardly pronounce next to in brackets like lavender, you're probably not getting a real plant. Like you need to look for that scientific name so you know you have the right plant. And so there's just a lot of things about using a very pure oil that a company that has been around for over 25 years has done all of the work to distill it the right time, the right temperature, all of the things to actually make them work. The other piece, I started with just oils, and that made a huge difference in our home. But at the same time, I started to learn and discover that that wasn't going to be enough. Like just using Thieves is great. Just using immunity rollers, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, wasn't enough. I needed to start getting rid of some of the other stuff in our home. The things that were in our products, our baby wash, our laundry soaps, our hand soaps, our cleaners, all of it contains a myriad of different things and words that we probably can't pronounce, and especially fragrance. I don't know about you, I have one daughter, and like I can't even open a toy of hers, a good girl's toy, without a massive amount of fragrance coming on. And like it's just overwhelming. And when everything you're using is full of fragrance or perfume, just that alone is a huge impact on your immune system. So in one study that I was reading today, talking about how this tears down our health, fragrance tears down our health, they had done a survey, and 2/3 of the people had no idea that the products that they were using and the fragrance and the candles and those things that they're putting on in their house and on their bodies was actually negatively impacting their immune system and other parts of their bodies. And to be honest, you guys, as a nurse, I didn't know that either. I had no idea. I had no idea that the day-to-day things that I was using were changing how healthy we were. And so it was a big picture thing, and we're not going to go into all these products, but all of those switches were huge. And even if you just switch out like hand soap and get really good hand sanitizer, Young Living has the best. It's so good for your skin. It doesn't dry it out. It has a plant-based natural alcohol in it. It's on the Health Canada approved list for COVID. You can get these little bottles to put in your kids' like lunch kits. And then you can get these pumps, and they just pump in here. So you can fill up your little ones from there, and it lasts and it lasts, and it's great. So I always keep those with me. Simple switches like that can go a really long way. So that those were sort of the things that I started with. But the very first thing I did, and this is what I want you guys to do, is I want you to take, if you have oils, I don't know if you have any roller bottles, so you can get these that have like a roller on top, or Young Living actually sells these. You can get 10 packs, and they're called roller filaments, in your virtual office when you're making your next order. And you can get 10 of these, and they clip right into these bottles or the 15 ml bottles. And I want you to take one, and you just pop off the top or open your bottle, however it is, if you have an empty one. And I just take Thieves and I drip it in like this. I count the drops. Some places that you buy them, you can actually buy, like they'll come with like little droppers. I do 10 drops of Thieves, 10 drops of lemon, and 5 drops of frankincense. That's good for like school-aged kids. And then I fill it with carrier oil. So I use either V6 from Young Living, which is like a vegetable carrier oil, or I also like grapeseed from Costco. And I just put the tip in and I pump it till it's full. And now I have an immunity roller. That's what I use on my kids every day before they go to school. You can put it on the bottoms of their feet. And you're like, well, Leah, you told us that fragrance is bad for us, so essential oils smell. Well, they do. Essential oils are made out of plants and they are completely pure. So it's an entirely different beast than fragrance that is synthetic. Any chemical and synthetic fragrance binds to your cells and your cells don't know what to do with it, so it won't release it. So now your cells can't actually do all of the things that cells do anymore because they have fragrance stuck to the outside. Plants are like natural products and our bodies know what to do with them. They don't get stuck. They don't, like, your body can process them, and they actually will often clean out those receptors of the synthetic things and allow your cells to do what they're supposed to do. So that's the difference. They smell great, but that can also cause a bit of an anxiety for people that are not good with fragrance and scent. Anything that is distilled through Young Living, the histamine, which is what binds and causes an allergic reaction, is actually removed in the distilling process. But people that are scared of scent because it actually makes them stop breathing, they can really struggle. So it can be hard to send your kids to school with a fragrance, a smell on their bodies. So if you have issues with that, if there's an issue with it for teachers or support staff or whatever, we want to respect that. Use the bottoms of their feet. The bottoms of their feet have huge pores and it absorbs really well. You put their socks on and they'll do just fine. Jack had a teacher that I had to be really sensitive with in grade 1. And so when he needed stuff, I put it on his feet, put on his socks, put on his shoes, and then it was fine. So my kids get that at bedtime too, on their feet or just up and down their spine on their backs. And they also get it in their diffuser. So with kids, you always want to dilute everything as best you can. There's no perfect science to this, but just put some carrier oil with it. And it just allows their skin is thinner. It allows it to absorb over more time. It's better for them. And so that's why I like rollers, because then it's already just ready to go and we can just grab and roll. But I also put it in the diffuser so they get thieves and then something for sleep. So for sleep, cedar wood is actually known to stimulate the limbic system, which is in charge of your emotional response in your brain. It actually stimulates it to release melatonin. So cedarwood is an incredible oil for helping sleep. So, and it's not super expensive. Actually, it's less pricey oil. Some people don't like the smell. So then if you put it with the thieves, it kind of balances it out. Lavender is another one that actually has scientific studies to show that it decreases stress, decreases your brain's like busyness, increases relaxation. And I also like Northern Lights Black Spruce for that same reason. It just causes like a grounding feeling. And so those are 3. You can use literally whatever makes you happy in the diffuser. Orange is actually a really good one. Peppermint is oddly relaxing. It's actually known by Health Canada as a anti-stress. I can't remember exactly what they say, but anyway, so you can try different things, but Northern Lights, Black Spruce, Lavender, and cedarwood are 3 that I use a lot for my kids in their diffusers at bedtime, because you want them to, you want your kids to have a good sleep. That is a huge building block of a good immune system, is to have a great sleep. Plus, everybody's winning when kids are sleeping better and deeper. And so I don't know about you, but I find my kids have a hard time unwinding. I have one that is a bit of a night owl. So then in the morning when I wake him up, he's grumpy and anxious. And so then we use different oils for that. But so sleep is a huge, huge part of that. And just because I touched on anxiety, a huge thing in our house right now is anxiety. I have one in particular child that is really struggling with school. COVID and lots of life circumstances have not helped at that. And so to go back, he has lots of panic attacks to leave me. And there's a variety of reasons I think that there is for that. And I'm not here to say that oils are your only answer for your kids. Another huge piece of swapping out toxins from your products is that a lot of them actually can increase children's anxiety. And we don't even know it, but this is a big epidemic right now for kids, is increased depression and increased anxiety, which obviously in this current climate is a huge factor. But actually swapping things out can have a massive change in that. But we did a program through the Canadian Mental Health Association called Confident Parents Thriving Kids. I highly recommend it if you have a child that they don't need to have any diagnosis, they just have anxiety that is causing them to not function as well. That program was huge for us. So if you need more, then I highly recommend looking that up. You can contact me later if you want more information. Today, I asked a myriad of people to pray for us and for his little heart today. And I put stress away, valor. Valor is good for bravery. Stress away is really good for stress away. Joy is a huge one for Luke for his anxiety. He's always responded exceptionally well to joy. Oil, I put that in the diffuser and I pumped that out all around him. And then I took some oils and also put them on the back of his neck and on his wrists. And so there's lots of tools that sometimes it takes, but those oils really help. They are a huge piece of the puzzle. And if you don't have a teacher that really struggles with scent, sending them with a roller or even like a sniffer you can get that you just put oils on it and they can just sniff it is an amazing tool to send to school with your kids, because they get some control over when they need it. They can either just smell it, they can put it on their wrists if they need it. Luke had tummy aches sometimes that came from stress. So I made him a roller with Tummy Jives, which is one of the kids' oils, and some Stress Away in it. And so then when he would feel his tummy was upset, he could just quickly like reach under his shirt and put some on around his belly button. And it saved the day quite a few times in school. So sending them, as long as, like I said, there's no scent issues. But if there is, then sending them with like something they can just open and smell and close again can be a good option for them. But these can be simple things that give them a little bit of control at school to do things that they need to do. So a couple of other things, because again, we want to keep this to 20 minutes. These are just a few tips and tricks to get you started. You want Ningxia Red for sure in your life. This is antioxidant rich. So why do we need that? So free radicals, they are something that causes our cells to be a bit unstable. This causes stress, aging, illness in our bodies. And it can happen from anything. It can happen from if you're smoking or people around your kids are smoking, even just this summer and all of the smoke that those of us in BC breathe in is not good for our bodies and our cells. And all of this stuff can open us up to more illness. And so wolfberries are super, super, super rich in antioxidants, which then neutralizes those free radicals in our bodies. So as adults, it's really amazing for all of our body systems. It is for kids too, but they're not falling apart quite as much as we are, especially once you hit 40. But anyway, but this is something that all my kids get some in the morning. You can get bottles and then give them like an ounce, or they can have a pouch in their lunch. And this is something that just gives them good gut health, which is amazing for your immune system. And then also just a really good boost for their immune system. And it also gives your brain a really great boost, which is good for the day in school for their focus. So there's just so much that we can do to support them. And I also make elderberry syrup. on my own, but you can buy it at the health food store too. And a study out of Israel showed that they did a study where half the group had elderberry syrup when they caught a cold, and then half didn't. And the placebo group took 6 days to get better, and the group taking elderberry took 3 days to get better. So it was fairly significant. So that's just another good one. You can take a teaspoon in the morning proactively. And then if you're sick, you could take a teaspoon every 3 or 4 times in the day. So those are some things that we use to sort of overall boost our immune system. We also do multivitamins, Young Living's multivitamin for kids. You have to order through the US side market, which we have access to in Canada. And if you need help with that, we can help you. Keep waiting for them to bring it to our market, but we haven't seen it yet. And it has wolfberry in it as well. So that's a great one, and it tastes delicious. And also a probiotic, which tastes like those delicious pixie sticks that you used to get as kids. And gut health and good probiotics are amazing for helping support your immune system. And a healthy immune system actually starts with healthy gut health. So those are also, I'm just waiting for mine to come in the mail. So I can't show you what they look like, but those are also really, really great options. So I'm just gonna say that all of that stuff is the stuff that we use literally every day. And so when we talk about ordering this and you're like, I don't even know if I need all of that stuff. I think personally, it's a extremely well-rounded picture of how we stay healthy, but we use the Essential Rewards program in order to have all these things. And it's stuff that I just have swapped out. I just buy from Young Living instead. And to me, it's worth it. I love having these options for us because I don't want us to get sick. And life feels easier when I have these tools. And there's so many more things I could talk about. There's things that you can put on your chest. We have a brand new chest rub to Canada that's amazing. RC is another great one for your chest that just slows down your cough or your runny nose super fast for kids if you are sick. We have starter kits that you can get a whole bunch of these oils all at one time in one starter kit with a diffuser. We have a kids line of oils that are pre-diluted. And so I order all of this stuff on Essential Rewards because it's like the best loyalty program that there is. And it's the most cost effective. So when I when I go to Costco and I spend $300 at Costco, I get 2% back on my card or something like that. And at the end of the year, I get a check. And I spend a lot of money at Costco. And I probably get $120 back at the end of the year or something ridiculous. And when I order from Young Living, if I spend $300 getting all of these wellness products in our home and swapping things out, I get, for me, I'm at 25% back, but after 3 months, you jump up to 20. And then after 2 years, you go up to 25. But so even at 20% for the first 2 years, I would then get 20% back off of 300, which is $60 in just in a little account to spend on whatever products I want. And then I also get freebies, and at different levels of spending, you get different free things, and it changes every month, but I get literally $150 worth of free product too. So for my $300, or $400, I'm getting probably $200 and just over $200 worth of free things too. So that program makes this all much more cost effective to stay healthy and well. And I had no idea that I was going to fall so much in love with staying healthy and getting this community of people. And we have Facebook groups to help you support your kids and to help you find wins. And you can ask questions and all of that stuff. And you can join in with us and learn together with us. And we're doing these classes so that you don't have to think like, oh, she talked really fast for 25 minutes and now I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this stuff. You can rewatch this, you can come find us, you can go into Facebook, you can ask questions, you can get help, because we want to help you find your wins. We want to help you be well, and we want to help to see the families in our community thrive. And so we get to do that together. So that is so fun for us to help more and more families find healthy wins. Like one day Jack said to me, he goes, well, I didn't get a sick day at all this year. And he goes, I'm probably not going to get one either with a mom like you. And I was like, what does that even mean? What do you mean a mom like me, like the old battle axe that like sends you to school? He's like, well, you know, a mom that uses oils, because then we're never sick. And I was like, that's right. And so anyway, so if you want to also be a mom that uses oils and be like the like kooky mom that puts things on your kids' feet in the morning, but you don't get very many sick days, and your family thrives, and you can be sitting in your vehicle and a kid in the back seat is like, I have a headache, I have a tummy ache, whatever, and you just get to throw something back there and they get to put it on and they feel better and you feel better. If you want to join us in that and be part of this with us and be like the moms that have the tools to do the things on the fly, just whoever invited you here or myself, or find someone that you want to connect with, and we would love to help connect you with the people that you came here to be part of. And yeah, we just want to see everybody win. So thank you for joining us. And I will have the link to this. If you want to share it with a friend that's not on Facebook or on the group, and you just want to send them the link, just let me know and I can send that over to you too. So I hope that you guys have such a good night. And if there's anything that I talked about that I just glazed over too fast and you have questions, just reach out to me anytime. And if you want like the recipes I use for my immunity roller, or like the elderberry recipe that I use, that I just make myself, I just order the stuff off of Amazon, anything like that, just let me know and I'm happy to share. So you guys have a really good night.